Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stories with Sapphire Live. I'm Sapphire Sandalo, and this is Lola. She's going to join me for the stream today. Say hi, hi. Hello. Hi, Azalea, Alienated Kitty, Kitten, Kiki Hanu, Jackie Pat 27, Soundfox 16. All right, while we wait for everyone to trickle in. Uh-oh, my nail got caught in her dew claw. Um, Sorry, Lola's very distracting because she's so cute. So this is the live stream I do every week, every Wednesday. I read your emails and your stories. So I got a couple here today. And at the very end of the stream, I will not forget. I have forgotten many a time. I'm gonna pause. Lola will pick a card from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. And maybe I'll switch up the decks every live stream. I love collecting different decks, and I have a lot of really silly ones. So maybe we can switch it up. So raise your hand if you submitted something. Maybe I will read it today. Who knows? All right. Ooh. Let me see if I have any updates. I do have an update. I have been meditating a lot frequently. A lot frequently? Is that a sentence? A lot more frequently. And whenever I am in that theta state, which is that state between dreaming and being awake, or sleeping and being awake, I've been hearing some stuff, guys. I've been hearing a lot of voices, and I know that sounds very troublesome. But it's always within that state. It's not like me walking around hearing stuff randomly. But I'm going to be talking to my psychic friends, priestess friends, for more insight as to what's going on. But I think stuff is opening up. And it's okay. I used to be very afraid of this happening. And now I'm kind of excited. I'm like welcoming it. But with that, you got to know how to protect yourself too. See, that's the only thing. People always warn you, don't want to open doors that you don't know where you're opening. But I mean, really, if you know how to protect yourself, and you know what doors, or at least think you know what doors are opening, then that's, you'll be fine. People are just worried about like what you might. Anyways, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not encouraging anyone to do anything, but also not discouraging y'all to do anything. All right, who's ready for some stories? I am just killing time while people trickle on in. All right, we have a story from. All right, hopefully this one won't be too hard to read. From Phoenix. I apologize in advance for spelling errors and if things don't make sense. Hey Sapphire, I've been a big fan for a while now and first found you on YouTube. Something scary if I remember right. You remember right. And can finally have the courage to tell you the few stories I have. Unfortunately, I will only be sharing 3 of them because most of them are quite hard to explain. It caught my attention. I'm currently 17 and in college and live in a town in England, but I will only call the town D. From what I know, it is the most haunted town in England, for the fact it is in the center of England. I'm not really religious, but believe in ghosts and the afterlife due to the fact that I've had quite a few things that have happened in my life, such as near-death experiences and strange encounters. The first story I have is around when I was 4 or 5. Me and my mom, twin sister, had just left my dad for some personal reasons and moved to an old street that we only stayed at for a few months. It was a small terraced house that had a living room attached to the kitchen and a small spiral staircase with a small landing at the top, leading into, at the time, mine and my sister's room. And across from that, my mom's room, and you had to go through her room to get to the bathroom. And from the start, when we moved there, something about it seemed odd. From the back garden to the fact that whenever we went up the stairs, it felt like you were being watched. Or maybe the fact that we lived near a main road, but it always felt wrong living there. Anyway, I remember getting ready to have a bath and getting my clothes out from my drawers so I could put them on once I got out of the bath. Walking over the landing to the bathroom with my sister, we walked into the bathroom to look up and see a thing stuck there. It was a person. I'm going to call it a he because I think it was a he. It was a person there without a head. I remember it clear as day. He had a white top with blood going down from his neck and stab wounds and black bottoms, but I couldn't see his feet. And after a few minutes, me and my sister looked at each other, scared, and just held each other's hands and looked back. Once we looked back, it bent down and waved at us, then got up and went through the wall. Once he was gone, we heard our mom calling us and looked to see that she was now in the room, asking us why we had not gone in the bath yet. Both me and my sister turned and said, "Who was the headless man in the bathroom?" My mom, being creeped out, asked what we said again, and we told her again. She said that we could have a bath tomorrow. Another story I have happened the next day after the last story, and neither my mom or my stepdad, who she was seeing at the time, neither of them remember it. We were in our room, and from outside we heard a crash. We looked outside. We could see that on the main road in front of the house there was a car crash with two women, one driving on the wrong side of the road. It wasn't too bad, but still we could see that one had a cut on her head. Getting up, we shouted to our mom and stepdad that there was a crash outside, but they didn't seem bothered. And then it says my third story. Was that it? Okay. Sorry. I'm not sure if I understood that second story. My third story, I was 14 or maybe 15 at the time. About a month or two before COVID hit England, I was on a school trip where we went to the most haunted places in D. And I would just like to say 2 disorders I have is tinnitus and Raynaud's, which Raynaud's causes my hands to turn purple and experience pain when I'm cold. And my tinnitus makes me have constant ringing in my ears. On this trip, we went to an old jail in which had the last place in England to have a bunch of people tried for and quartered. I don't remember if that full name of it, but basically get hung, and while they're still alive, they get their stomach cut open and their guts taken out, put in front of them, and then they cut their body up into quarters. What? I didn't know that was a thing. That's insane. And joking around, me and my friends ran over where the people would have been dumped and left. Then ran back over it. Then we went to some other places. But as we walked around, I could feel my right hand getting colder than my left. And once we had almost finished the trip, I could feel a bit of pressure on my hand. Then I looked at my hand and I could see 5 little white prints, as if someone grabbed my hand and indents in my hand where the white prints were. But instead of freaking out like my friend did, I was calm. I felt as if I was at peace with it. Then, when I had managed to calm my friend down, I looked at my hand, and for some reason, I felt as if the fingerprints came from a child. And in my head, I simply said, "Hey, it's okay." I never really knew what made me think it was a child's fingerprint. Maybe it was the fact I'm quite short, and for it to have been a grown-up's prints, they would have been closer to the middle of my hand. But I never knew what happened to me that day, but from then on, I became a lot more anxious. Since then, to the point that I can't even answer a phone without having a panic attack. Anyway, I hope you like my stories and find at least one of them interesting. Sorry if there are any errors. Love your podcast and hope you have an amazing day. Phoenix! Thank you for submitting that. That was a roller coaster. Whoa! Sorry, I'm just checking out the chat right now. Trip, Hop, and Skip is gifting subs left and right. What are you doing? Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Amazing. I love it. Thank you. Oh man, that was emotional. That was a ride. I don't even know what to comment on. There's so much to comment on. What was the first story again? Oh, the house. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Never. Headless ghosts are so fascinating, and I think I talked about this in a podcast once, because it's a common way that spirits become earthbound is when they are not aware that they have died, and so if you are suddenly decapitated by means that you don't know, then you're going to be a little confused, uh, which is why there's lots of headless ghosts, because they don't realize that they're dead. Anyways, moving along. Next story is. Sorry, I feel like my eyesight is getting weird. No, it's not too. All right, this one. Ooh, okay, here, cool. This is cool. This is from Miranda. I own a store, Bent Emporium, in Georgetown, Massachusetts. It was open June 2018 by my friend Robin. It was her dream to have a vintage, funky secondhand store, and she left a six-figure job to open the store. Sadly, the following January, Robin committed suicide. She did it in the store. That June, Robin's husband asked me to take over to kind of keep her dream alive and in her memory. So I've owned the store since then. Robin was a sweet, beautiful soul, and it's never freaked me out that she died in the store. The store is in the basement of a very old historical building that I've been told was once a residence and later an Oddfellows Hall. I also have been told that the building was part of the Underground Railroad. I've personally researched this, and the Underground Railroad did indeed go right through Georgetown. Is MA Massachusetts? Oh, God, I'm showing how dumb I am as an American. She put MA, but I'm like, wait, is MA Massachusetts? I'm reaching out to you because there is certainly paranormal activity in the space. I fully believe this. I don't claim to be sensitive, but I'm not a skeptic either, and I'm open to everything. The activity started shortly after I took over. Every mirror I would hang on the wall would be found broken on the floor the next day, one by one. Different walls, different types of mirrors. The strange thing is the screw or nail would still be in the wall, even though the mirror was on the wall, on the floor. I was vacuuming before I opened one day and I heard my name being called. I was alone. It sounded like it was being yelled, but it was muffled, like someone was screaming, but behind a wall. I was so convinced I heard this, I went upstairs to the hair salon in the building and asked them if they were calling for me. They said no. It was around this time I started seeing out of my peripheral vision a very tall, very dark, I guess, mist or shadow. It moved very quickly from one side of the store to the other, and I've never been able to see it full on because it happened so fast. It was always in the same area until recently when I saw it in the other half of the store. Another more physical type of activity was one evening. I was in the store with my friend Kyle. There's a pole that we have wrapped with rope and have stuck old buttons and pins around it. The sharp part of the pins are stuck into the rope, and you have to pull them out to remove one. We were just talking, and neither of us were touching the pole, and a yellow button stuck up high on the pole just not fell, but kind of launched off the pole and landed a few feet in front of the pole. I was glad someone else saw it. What is really, really concerning for me, though, is how I feel or how I'm affected when I'm in the store by myself. If I'm alone, I feel like an oppressive energy kind of weighs on me. I can feel it come on, and I feel so drained. I've also felt very scatterbrained. Can't start working on anything because I can't think straight. It's only when I'm alone in the space. Recently, I've started experiencing this just hopeless, what's the point type of emotions. I've tried to debunk this. I make sure I've slept, eaten, had water, and I go upstairs every so often to get fresh air. To no avail. This energy still just envelops me and makes me wonder if maybe Robin experienced the same thing when she had the store, and could it have exacerbated her struggle with depression and maybe pushed her closer to what ultimately happened. Please know that I absolutely love the store and the customers. It is a joy, so these feelings make no sense to me. Also, as soon as someone comes in the store and I'm not alone, it goes away. It's hard to describe, but it feels like it lifts off of me, and I'm back to myself and can think clearly. I've not tried to cleanse the space as I'm nervous about doing it wrong and making whatever it is worse. I just want to be comfortable in the store whether I'm alone or not, and I would feel awful if it started affecting friends and customers. Thank you for reading this. I would love to speak with you about my situation. I think with your knowledge, I wouldn't feel so alone and clueless on how to navigate this. Thank you, Miranda. Oh, yay. Yeah, this is a pretty common thing where buildings retain some type of energy. This actually kind of reminds me of Ghost Town Terror. I don't know if you guys have watched the first episode of this show yet, but mild spoiler, at the end of the first episode, something kind of similar happened to me in one of the buildings. One of the buildings that is supposedly the most haunted. I just started crying out of nowhere. And I mean, it could have been a lot of things. I was tired, I was stressed, I was scared, but it was really weird how how it came on very suddenly. And I was very embarrassed and very confused. And something like that has never happened to me before. Like, I don't particularly call myself an empath, like in the way that a lot of people do, even though I am probably really empathic, but I refuse to acknowledge it. So maybe you are, Miranda, you are incredibly empathic, and you are picking up on something, in that basement, whether or not it's something that Robin left behind, or maybe it's something that influenced Robin. I don't know. However, I don't think that there is a wrong way for you to try and cleanse the space. I know that it's kind of there's a lot of different ways you can try to clear it. People recommend sage, but if you're going to go that route, try to find ethically sourced sage. I don't know what that's like in your area, but you can burn any type of smoke, really. Like, it doesn't even need to be sage. It can be whatever is readily available for you. Whatever you can do, incense, just any type of smoke. And the most important part is the intention. So, like, as you're burning and walking around, say like, "Hey, all the energy in here that does not serve our higher good, like, peace out. You're not welcome here." I think that's safe enough to do. Like, don't worry about making it worse, as you couldn't. I don't think. And if it does, then sorry. It won't. I promise. It won't. Just try that. But I think while you're working there, maybe just focus on how much you love the store. Focus on how much you love the customers, and that love and positivity will expand, and it will eventually remove that darkness, hopefully. Sorry, I keep rubbing my face because I've got Lola here in my lap, and all her fur her fur keeps flying all around. Okay, did I mark that one already? I did not. Okay, let's do that. All right, that's good to go. All right, this one's called... All right, I guess this one will be our last one before I do a reading. Crystalline, is it true if someone calls your name, don't answer? Huh. I feel like I've heard that. I don't know about that, though, because I'm not sure. I need to look into that. Because I feel like sometimes our guides might use our name, but I might be wrong. Good question. I'm going to look into that. Oh, Igor, you like Ghost Town Terror so far. Great. Good to hear. All right, here's our last story. This is from Anne. Oh, no, sorry, Cammie. Hey, I'm Cammie. I hope this story isn't too long or boring. P.S. I have psychic smell, and if you ever want to talk about it, hit me up because I have plenty of stories about that too. Okay, cool. I'm going to hit you up, Cammie, about Psychic smell. I haven't had a phantom smell in a while, so I don't know. Maybe it's COVID. No, I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. My uncle recently passed away due to lung cancer caused by a lifetime of smoking on November 10, last 2021. It was a hard experience for our whole family. Thing is, my family is super in tune with the supernatural, and all my siblings, other family members had an experience with him spiritually, except me. One night, I was having extreme nightmares, and I was extremely aware of it as well. I knew I was in a dream, but I couldn't wake myself up at all. I even tried forcing myself awake by jumping off a building due to a falling dream. Instead, my body was in pieces and I didn't wake up. I was panicking because I was once told that if you don't wake up from a falling dream, you could die in real life. I had repeated nightmares over and over. It didn't end till I dreamt that I had woken up. I got up from my bed and limped to the kitchen, and the entire dining table had shadows in the shape of my family. The only family member that was there as a whole was my uncle eating fried fish. I start shuffling to my usual seat, and he asks me what's wrong. I tell him, my nightmares won't end, and I feel like I'm still dreaming. He finishes chewing, and while patting my head and back, he replies, "Of course you are. If you weren't, then I wouldn't be able to meet you." I wake up for real now, and tears instantly burst out of my eyes. I ran to the kitchen to see nobody there. I genuinely believe that he showed up in my dream to end my nightmares and comfort me. The dream just hit closer to home because he used to eat with me and cook random food to cheer me up. Seeing him eating his favorite fried fish one more time brought me the biggest comfort I could ask for. Bonus note, my eldest sister saw him smiling in the kitchen during my birthday as if asking her to tell me happy birthday, and then he disappeared. She was tearing up smiling as she told me this. Wow. Oh wow, that's really cool. Yeah, I definitely believe that that was your uncle visiting you in your dream. Hang on, I think I missed the beginning part. That's really sweet. Yeah, I've had a lot of family members who would be visited by family members when they were like in a period of stress. So, yeah, dreams are just really cool. I'm actually, I don't get really good sleep, but I'm so excited to go to bed every night because I'm so excited for like what dreams I'm gonna get and what messages I'll get. I don't know. So I've been listening to a lot of like lucid dreaming meditations before bed, making my dreams real weird and fun. Highly recommend it. Just YouTube lucid dreaming guided meditation and just like fall asleep to it, and it's really fun. Anyways, thank you, Cammie. All right, you guys ready for Lola? Stop. Ready for readings. Woohoo! I should have done my dog cards because Lola's here with me, but I can't get up now. It's too late. All right. Someone in the chat, pick a number. First number that is chatted, I will use that number. Pick a number, any number. 5. All right, here we go. Oh, I love this. I haven't had this card yet. This is the Shield Maiden. Make plans and focus. She seems cool. All right, so I don't have these memorized yet, so I'm going to have to read them. Lily, you want to read it? Hi, cutie. Shield Maiden. Have a plan or strategy in place before moving forward. The Shield Maiden is the female knight in shining armor. In Viking traditions, women were seen as equal to men, and so joined them on their raids and fought with them on the battlefield. In this deck, the Shield Maiden brings a fiercely feminine energy, the power to be a warrior while retaining feminine sensitivity. She's ready to put her plan into action. She's ready to go into battle. Her medicine helps us move beyond any unsettled feelings when our plans start to take shape and follow through with our strategies in order to be where we want to be. Shield maidens work together in times gone by to create shield walls of protection, so she also shows us how to work with others in order to bring our plans to fruition. Taking some time to assess what your next steps will be. All great warriors have a plan. You are a sensitive being, and if you are not prepared for the tasks you are taking on, you could end up feeling exposed and helpless. The ancestor guidance that is coming to you now is a reminder that you have a warrior's heart and that you have it within you to be more prepared and focused than you have been recently. So, have a strategy in place and then let your guides support you as you move forward. Yay, so that's your message for this week, everyone. Make plans and focus. Woohoo! All right. Oh my gosh, I can't have Lola in my lap anymore. It's just chaos. All her fur is just flying up into my eyeball the whole time. What a mess, everyone. Well, thank you all so much for joining me this week. So here's the thing, y'all. There's a tiny chance I might have to move live streams from Twitch to YouTube. But when I officially do that, I'll let y'all know because of exclusivity, boring stuff. So anyways, I think all of you are also on YouTube, but just know that might be happening in the future. So I hope you all can follow me wherever I go. That sounds weird and cult-like. You know what I mean, though. Anyways, I hope all of you have a great rest of your week. Lola says she loves you, even though she doesn't look like it. Lola, you want to tell the people something? Want to say something in the microphone? You just want to give me kisses? You just want to give me kisses? Trying to get her to say something. Why did I expect her to actually end up saying something? I need to interact with humans more often. All right. Bye, everyone. See you next week. Bye, 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 bye. Oh, you cutie. You cutie.